Recording. I'm assuming it's recording now. Okay, it's recording. Sorry. All right. Thanks for coming, guys. I wanted to meet to talk about um our milestones scores, specifically literacy, and how we can increase those scores. So let me. I've got Mika here with me. She's in front of me, so she's a part of the meeting. Um, Let me share my screen. And we'll just kind of quickly go over this. So we'll go over it and then kind of see where our deficits are and kind of come up with some strategies of what we can use in the classroom. And I thought maybe, we'll do to the table of what um, we can do to kind of increase that area. Okay. All right. Can y'all see my screen okay? Okay. All right. So when I got with Joni and went over some of the scores. So she sent me this data. Um, and what for our ELA performance levels from the milestones, this is 23, 24 of last year for third grade specifically. How did our students score? They scored over 50% of our third grade students scored distinguished, which was fantastic. Almost 40% scored for proficient, and then we had 10% that scored developing. So we're going to kind of break that down a little bit and see what areas of the kids that what area of literacy did the kids not score proficient. So great job. Congratulations all third grade teachers for the hard work that they put into the students. And hold on, one more. One more. Okay. Here. Hold on. Let me look at the lobby. Okay. Sorry. Just want to make sure we are.
Sorry.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Just want to make sure. I was like, what's going on? Okay. So, hey, thanks for coming. I just was talking about our scores. Can you see my screen? Oop. Thanks, Miss Lowe, for coming. I'll catch you up real fast. What we were talking about was our scores for the literacy for ELA, and this is some of the data that Miss Dr. Adams sent me, was that we were at 50% for third grade level performance, scoring distinguished. About 40% were proficient, and then 10% scored developing, and we're going to kind of dive into that 10% of developing. And great job for all the teachers, the third grade teachers that worked so hard on that. So that's where we are, Miss Lowe. And I'm just right here. So want to talk about, do we have room for improvement? And if so, where could we do? And I want us to kind of talk about what areas, what was the most specific area that our kids need some more specialized instruction for. So one of the things, while our kids did incredible, where did they not make proficiency? How can we help them? And these are just some questions that I kind of thought about when I was going through the data. And are these strategies that we can actually implement in the classroom to increase these scores? And yes, absolutely we can. So when I was looking at the scores, I looked at reading and vocabulary, craft and structure, integration of knowledge and ideas, key ideas and details, vocabulary acquisitions, and the use. So where we were not demonstrating was 4% for reading and vocabulary, 2% with key ideas, 8% was craft and structure, but 10% vocabulary and acquisition and use was actually our highest low score. So I wanted to dive into vocabulary and acquisition. So again, here's the scores. And then when we looked at the reading literacy test, we are still at 4%. And then of um, not meeting the standard, which is below, below the target level that we wanted. And then reading information text was at 4%. So we have where we have like craft and structure was 8%. I still really wanted to focus on the vocabulary and acquisition. That was because it was the 10%. So we have the highest number of students that are not meeting the target that we want right there. Oops, sorry. So can we come together as a team to come up with some strategies that we can use in the classroom to help these students? I was thinking if we can kind of talk about one or two strategies that we could use. Does anybody have any strategies that you would want to implement? Miss Hughes, I think you had one, didn't you?
Graphic organizer. You do shades of meaning.
And shades of meaning?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'll write those down. Ms. Boswell, do you have any strategies that you think we could use?
Your mic is off, Ms. Boswell. Thank you. You can do a Frayer model where you take the word, you define it, you do non-examples, examples, and then you write a sentence, which helps them learn those too.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Miss Lowe? What do you think?
Well, I know that I do read alouds and I pull vocabulary from the read aloud ahead of time. And so it's almost like pre-teaching them vocabulary. And then we break down the book and kind of go over the vocabulary as we go. And so that's a different way, kind of just being intentional about the read aloud that you choose and kind of reading it ahead of time and pulling out that vocabulary.
Okay. What do we think as if we were to pick like one to two of these strategies, which one do you guys think would be the most beneficial? I'm kind of thinking the Frayer model would be good, and then maybe like
Yeah.
Miss Lowe was saying, the read aloud strategy is using. Um, so if y'all agree with that, then I'll do some more research on these two models, and I'll come back to the table and kind of present some more information for you that we can use and see what we can do in the classroom. And I appreciate you guys meeting with me this morning. I really appreciate it. Looking at this data. Great job for everybody, and thank you so much. And that I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, because that is my presentation. All right, hold on just a second. Let me stop the recording because we are finished. Wait, hold on, right here. Okay, sorry.